because of the chaos in the markets today. I'm hoping we can start there.
Yeah.
Markets down pretty substantially. And I just wonder what you think is happening. Is this a real situation? Is this a fear factor? Or is this a factual factor that's driving stocks down?
It's a little of both. It's a confluence of two things. We still have a strong American economy. So if you speak to most of the CEOs, they say their order books are good, consumer balance sheets are good, the economy is growing, wages are going up, they're still hiring people, unemployment may very well hit 3.3% this year. That's all good. On the other side of it, you have a bunch of geopolitical stuff, oil, Brexit, but I think the one that's probably roiling the markets the most is trade. And the issue about trade is not just the direct effect, it's the indirect effect that how bad it's going to get, what can go wrong. And of course, that fat tail of a trade war. If you weren't even thinking about that a year ago, now people are talking about how bad can it get. So that's why you see it's kind of swinging the market all place. And that, with the added thing, rates are going up, and is it recessionary? Now, I personally think the yield curve, it doesn't tell you that at all. But that's the thought, that maybe there's something in the yield curve that's telling you might have a recession. So, but what we all see in the actual facts on the ground is you still have growth in America.
Well, that's a lot to
and growth in the world. We just met with the IMF, 3.7% this year. I mean, that's among one of the better growth for the world, not this year, next year, 2019.
But the fear factor, the idea of the trade war, which would you call it a trade war now? Because recently you said not.
It's still a trade skirmish, but people are pricing in how bad can it get. And you have to, like, how bad can it get? So
when you say people are pricing it in, you're talking traders, or you're talking CEOs who are trying to figure out what to do with
a little of
their
each, because you're having, a lot of people mention it being an issue. So it's a minor issue for most companies, but it's a big issue for some. And some companies, they have to change supply lines. They have to make investments differently. They may hold off on something because they need to know where to build the plant. Mexico, America, Vietnam, South Korea, China. And those things are just causing uncertainty, which causes volatility.
Are you hearing about specific companies that are pulling in plans, that are saying we're going to wait and see what happens?
A couple, yeah. But it's not, like I said, take 100 companies, it's 3, 4, 5. There's another 5 that'll tell you they're worried about it and they're thinking about it and it's affecting price a little bit. But the bulk will still tell you it doesn't affect them. So but it's the uncertainty. When you create uncertainty like this, and with potential tariffs and doubling down and 90-day timelines, you're going to get a little bit of roiled markets.
Traders and investors overall seem to feel a little better about things, at least on Monday for a few hours, after we got out of the G20. And then we started thinking, okay, these are pretty complicated talks. We've got 90 days to come up with a solution. Where do you think we stand in 90 days?
Look, I'm going to tell you what I think the likely outcome is, that they make enough progress in 90 days, and actual progress. If you look at the Chinese, they are actually allowing some companies to buy into industries. They're talking about making actual immediate changes when they had their press release, both about buying things and changing. They acknowledge that IP is an issue and try to set up a process to try to make, fix IP. So if they do that, my guess is at the end of 90 days, it'll get extended more. They can't get it all done in 90 days. I think it's just too complicated to do that. But again, it creates another of a cliff. You have to wait for 90 days to see what that means, and so that kind of uncertainty is just not necessarily good for markets. I'm hoping it works. I hope these important issues get resolved.
You're hoping. Are you expecting that they will?
Again, this is all about odds. I give it a higher chance, 60% versus 40.
60% chance that there is a resolution.
But the risk is always that something goes south. We arrested the lady from Huawei, and what does that mean? And the rumors now, I heard they arrested some Americans in China, and that kind of stuff is just not helpful.